Hello everyone and welcome to my review for Chainsaw Man Chapter 97, which is, as we have found out, the final chapter of Part 1 of Chainsaw Man. So a lot of my concerns from last chapter about having a lot of loose ends needing to be tied up, those are amended because the story's not over, so there are still opportunities for those things to be addressed. So since this is basically the last chapter for a while, I feel like it is deserving of me kind of going through it step by step. I'm going to preface by saying this chapter was genuinely very touching. I guess you could say it was heartwarming, which is a very interesting change of pace for Chainsaw Man, which has been pretty fucking miserable in a good way for most of the series. Chainsaw Man has very few, emotionally uplifting moments, and in hindsight, a lot of them aren't very emotionally uplifting, like the movie scene with Makima. Well, that's a little more uplifting now. Yeah, stuff like that. Normally, things happen later on that just kind of make you look at all the nice stuff in a different light, which may happen with this, but this is definitely... This was just very sweet to read through. Not bittersweet, as I had expected. It was just genuinely a very sweet thing to read. So, we see Denji and Kishibe hanging out in, the park. It seems that Denji has taken responsibility for all of Makima's dogs and Power's cat. And we find out here that since eating all the parts of Makima, she hasn't revived anywhere. So I guess that means she's dead. And when Kishibe asks how he managed to kill her, Denji explains that Makima can't be injured by attacks. So what he was doing wasn't really attacking her, he wanted to become one with her. It was an act of love. Really twisted, fucked up love, but still love. And when Kishibe asks how did he manage to sneak up on Makima without her detecting him, considering Makima seems to be fucking omnipotent most of the time. She's just all-seeing. Or is that omniscient? Whatever, she's basically all-seeing. We've seen that Makima basically hears everything that goes on, and is able to tell wherever a person is going and what they're doing. So how did you do it? And we find out that Denji figured that Makima actually perceives people through sense of smell, which is weird. She doesn't remember anyone's faces, and only remembers people who interest her by their smell, which is so freaky. Makima had, for a while, probably since, what chapter was that, 22? Somewhere in the 20s, when they got attacked by Shadman and his gang of goons. And Makima got shot and killed for the first time that we had seen, and then resurrected, out of nowhere. She just got back up in the train with the spooky lighting, and you're like, oh, what the fuck is Makima? She just had, this creepy aura around here. And this kind of takes it back. She doesn't even perceive people the way that we perceive them. She, only recognizes us through smell. It's just oh, humans, they all look the same to me. It's like some weird higher being thing where they don't even perceive humans in the same way that they perceive each other. It does make Makima kind of creepy again. I know I had mentioned a few chapters ago that ever since her motivations had been revealed and she'd sort of been turned into this Chainsaw Man fanboy, she wasn't as scary anymore because she had seemed more human. But this really takes it back to her being this otherworldly entity. But Denji came to the conclusion that Makima had only remembered the smell of Chainsaw Man, and the whole time never even noticed Denji, which is just... Damn, that really fucking hurts, doesn't it? This is why women deserve less. No. This is... If you watch Real Life Ryan, I think that's his channel name, he had a video where he talked about the first 2 volumes of Chainsaw Man, because he's reading it for the first time, and kind of got the feeling that this maybe has something to do with simp culture, or just sort of relationships in which basically there's no real genuine requited love, unrequited attraction, someone is just giving the other person a bunch of shit in the hope that they'll get something back in return. And that sort of seems to be what it was with Denji. Makima was just using him as like a prop to get Chainsaw Man back and never cared about Denji in the first place. So that should let you know, never go after a woman who's not looking for you and is just looking for, I don't know, your money or something. I guess that's a pretty good message. That one, I read this for the first time and I was like, damn. Yeah, I felt that one, buddy. But anyway, this kid bites Denji's finger, and we see it's actually Makima. Kind of, not really. She's very different now. She's got, like, black hair. And Kishibe says that they found this kid in China and stole her. But it's not Makima anymore. It's just the Control Devil. So, Makima was the name that she had taken up in that, I don't know, incarnation? That version of the Control Devil. That was Makima. And the way she was a result of the sort of circumstances that she grew up in. I think they mentioned earlier in the series that she was pretty much raised by the state. So that Makima was a result of her circumstances, whereas this Control Devil is basically like a blank person. There's not really much to her yet, so you can still kind of turn her into a good person. And that is why Kishibe wants Denji to take care of her. And before Denji can even say no, Kishibe has already teleported away. And he asks this girl what her name is. She says it's Nayuta, which I saw some people mentioning, and this seems to be a reference to a one-shot that Fujimoto did at some point, which is interesting. I don't know the full extent of whatever sort of connection there may be between those two things, but anyway, Nayuta says that she likes eating bread, which is a nice callback to Denji basically eating bread all the time, and she even does like the hand thing, like the peace sign. So I wonder if the way in which Makima was killed had sort of imprinted part of Denji onto the Control Devil, because these do seem to be traits of Denji, unless it's just pure coincidence. That may also be a thing. But yeah, they're just sort of vibing and hanging out. It seems that Denji pretty much just, I guess, is now living in Makima's apartment, probably. I mean, he has all the dogs there, so I assume it would have been easiest to just move in there. But as they're sleeping at night, Denji dreams of Pochita, and they hug it out. Pochita asks him if he knew what his dream was, and he said it was just to be hugged by someone. It seems pretty simple, but since he was so strong and scary, it was really hard to accomplish. But Denji made his dream come true, which is just... This, like, we keep getting really, really nice stuff in this chapter, like, genuinely emotionally moving, heartwarming stuff. And, oh, God. You know what? Is it chapter 39? Fuck me, chapter 39 is so fucking good. I thought the Makima reveal maybe kind of tarnished it, because you realize Makima was actually full of shit. But as we find out in here, not really. Like, she was going on a date with the Chainsaw Man, kind of. And we find out here that the Control Devil had wanted to build relationships where she was equal with others, but all she had was the overwhelming might of public safety, and she couldn't build relationships with that. Like, when you're in that sort of authority and have that kind of power, it's basically just impossible to put yourself on an equal level with other people, and ended up yearning for something like a family. And although her methods weren't right, Pochita asks Denji to make her vision for the world come true. And when he asks how to do that, Pochita says by giving people lots and lots of hugs. And we see that Denji and Nayuta are like hugging while they're asleep. And it's very cute. It's very nice. So if you recall when Makima first meets Denji in chapter 1, she gives him a big ol' hug, which is like, yeah, Fujimoto, you fucking genius. And also, I was wondering, I was like, why does this stuff about just being hugged, why does this move me so much? Chapter 39. When they're in the movie theater, and none of the other movies really impress them at all. And they see this one movie, it looks like maybe some kind of war movie or something, I don't know. And this woman just gives this soldier a hug. I assume it's probably like her son or something. Like, we never get context for it. Like, it's completely up to interpretation or whatever. It's also not really important. What's important is that it's just this genuine, simple act of kindness and compassion for another human being. And I guess that applies to us too, because holy shit, am I not getting, like, kind of choked up. Like, just reading about how Pochita just wanted to be hugged by someone, and Denji made that dream come true for him. So, this is just, like, really fucking nice. I don't know how else to put this. This is just, like, a really nice, moving thing to read. Which I really wanted. I know we really, really weren't sure if Chainsaw Man would have, like, a bittersweet ending. It might still, because it's not over. But I had really hoped that we would get something nice like this, and it seems that we are. So, the end of Chainsaw Man Part 1 is a bunch of people talking about the Chainsaw Man and how he kills devils for a hobby, that they heard he only saves girls, and that there's a rumor that he's actually a high school student right now. And we see Denji is indeed a high school student now, which is fantastic. He had never gone to school before, and he's getting ready to fight like this big weird devil with a bunch of arms, and that's the end of Part 1, the public safety chapter. So, that was a pretty fucking fun ride. For previous 97 chapters to be just Part 1 of the story, that was really good. And I'm very happy the story is continuing, because we do have a lot of loose ends to tie up. Well, the big one is we have to go find Power still, and we did have a reference to the Four Horsemen, who, once again, I'm assuming are, like, the big four primal devils. War, death, hunger, and either, pestilence or conquest. Makima could have been conquest, since she was the control devil, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to find out in Part 2. I don't know. Chainsaw Man Part 2, Chainsaw Man Shippuden, whatever the hell it's going to be called. I just hope it's as good, or hopefully even better than Chainsaw Man Part 1. Another thing, this is still something that kind of bugs me a little, that Reze came back and Denji did not react to it at all at any point, and still hasn't, like, where the fuck is Reze right now? Like, we know the hybrids are immortal, you can just resurrect them by giving them blood. So where the hell is Reze? Where's Quan Chi? Where's Shadman? Where are those other four guys that just showed up? I mean, I would like to at least know a little bit about them. Other than them just sort of being like the job squad, Makima's simp squad. I would like to know more about them, and I do want to see where the hell is Reze. Is Reze also going to school now? That would be nice. I mean, Denji basically has a kid now. I would like to see, Denji. I would still like to see Denji get a girlfriend. He did want that this whole time, and Reze is, the best fucking option that he has available to him. It's really funny. I did not care for Reze that much when we first found out that she was the bomb hybrid. I was like, nah, fuck this bitch. She betrayed Denji. But upon, like, a reread and hearing more of people's takes on her, I was like, yeah, Reze's pretty good. So I do hope that she's not, like, returned to the void or something. I hope that Reze is still around. I would like to see her again. I would like to see the other hybrids again. They're pretty fucking cool. And yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that Part 2 is going to be like, the quest for power, the hunt for new side characters, because, boy, did we kill almost all of them. I hope Yoshida shows up again, too, since I guess would he still be in high school, maybe? Unless he's already done his exams. But yeah, I mean, Yoshida's just pretty cool, though I guess he did sort of luck out, because if you're a side character who sticks around for too long, it's more likely than not that you're going to get fucking killed at some point. Yeah, I mean, the only 3 side characters had survived, and Yoshida just dipped after the International Assassins arc. He was like, bye, I have fucking schoolwork to do, I'll see you guys around, maybe, not. And then the only 2 that survived were Kobeni, who, we still don't know what her contract is. I assume she has a contract with, like, a bad luck devil or something. You would say, well, hold on there. How would Kobeni have a contract with the bad luck devil? She seems to have absurdly good luck when it comes to not dying. And I would say, yeah, but she seems to just have bad luck in regards to everything else. So what if the terms of the contract is you have bad luck all of the time except for when it's a life or death situation, in which case the universe will fucking bend itself to give you as good of luck as humanly possible. Or inhumanly possible, as a matter of fact. So shitty luck the rest of the time. Obscenely good luck when your life is on the line. That would probably be the terms of the contract, I'm guessing. And then Kishibe. But Kishibe is, he's the OG. He's the strongest devil hunter, who's not like a hybrid or whatever. So, I mean, he still kind of needs to stick around for someone to be managing things. But, I mean, good for Kishibe. I was kind of afraid he would get killed by Makima or something. But no, the guy seems to know what he's doing. And hopefully we'll see more from him. We didn't really get to see any of his contracts, but I think it was the Eel Fiend. One of Quan Chi's girls said, oh, the dude basically has nothing left to give up for contracts. So that's probably just why he's so good at fighting people normally. But yeah. Part 2, very excited for that. It's moving to Jump Plus. As far as I understand, creators do have a little bit more freedom when it comes to their schedule and sort of just whatever they can do on Jump Plus. So, seeing how creative of a guy Fujimoto is, and how fucking good he does just producing week-to-week chapters. If he gets like a bi-weekly thing, like every 2 weeks, or a monthly thing, I don't know. Hopefully not monthly. I would like to have more than one Chainsaw Man chapter a month, but hopefully the guy just gets an opportunity to do an even better job than he's already done with Chainsaw Man Part 1. I know a lot of manga continuations tend to be not better than the first part. Hopefully that will not ring true for Chainsaw Man. I mean, this is a very good conclusion for a Shonen Jump series, or a weekly Shonen Jump series. So now that it's moving to Jump Plus, hopefully it will continue being good. We don't know when it's starting up again. I would say probably within the next 6 months. I assume Fujimoto's going to take like a little break or something. The guy's earned it. Certainly, after more than 2 years of working on this almost every week. The guy can get a little vacation. Give him like a month or two to rest and relax. Maybe write up the story. I don't know if Fujimoto has everything planned from the start, or if he just kind of like wings it week to week. With how crazy the narrative can get at some points, you almost sort of think the dude is just making it up as he goes. But it all seems to work out in the end, so I'm not going to complain about whatever way he does it. And then, I don't know, like a few months into the vacation, he'll start drawing shit up for Chainsaw Man Part 2, or whatever it'll be called. So, yeah. In the meantime, of course, I will be doing reviews for at least one other series. You'll probably see that next week, maybe. It really depends on just how busy I am, and if I've caught up or not. Hopefully it's another series that we get speed scans out for on Fridays. I only did this on Sunday because there was no Jujutsu chapter this week, and I just really... Well, I didn't have a lot of great opportunities to record the last 2 days, and I also just didn't kind of feel like it, so I figured I would do this today. But yeah, I will be finding at least one new series to be doing videos on every week, so you can definitely look forward to that. And with that, that's all I have to say. This has been a very fun ride, and thankfully, it's not over forever. We're just taking a little bit of a rest stop, and I'm sure we'll be back to it in no time. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I've been doing Chainsaw Man chapter reviews for the last 5 or 6 months. You can check them all out in a playlist, and you can be sure that when Chainsaw Man Part 2 starts up, I'll be doing videos on that as well. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Kengan Omega, I do videos on those series as well, so if you're interested in those, you should definitely check out my channel. If you enjoy discussing Chainsaw Man with other people, or just enjoy the content I produce on this channel, I highly suggest you check out my Discord server. I have a link to it on my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.